Welcome back to Runabout Revival. In this episode, the anticipation is palpable as we stand on the brink of a significant milestone. Like an intricate web of nerves, the engine harness is the lifeline of our machine, connecting every vital component with efficient precision. Today, the construction of the first segment of our new, fresh, simplified, and customized engine harness marks the transition from planning to execution, from vision to reality. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. This is Runabout Revival.
Well, it's the weekend. Let's get working. So, still working on the adapter for the crank. I actually ordered a OEM crank pulley, so it took me a while to find one actually that was Gen 2 specific. I'm not sure if the Gen 3 or Gen 4 is the same, but rather than find out later and have to wait even longer, I just found a Gen 2 one. So more on that coming, so we can mount the crank sensor down here. Wanted to give you a brief update on the wiring. I went through last night and made all the various looms that I'm going to use for each sensor. Just basically picked the colors that I wanted to use, kept it as close to factory as possible, and then made copious notations here to make sure that I could follow what had changed and what connectors I'm doing and where the wires go, etc. Got through a lot of that. I did remove the parts of this harness that I'm not going to be using, such as anything having to do with the distributor igniters. I also removed the starter wiring, which I'm going to just actually keep the factory wiring. It's only going to run through the hole there. The starter relay will be in the cabin side underneath the AEM stuff, and then the wire runs right down here to the starter. So there's two wires, ground and a power, and then the starter signal wire connects to the body harness inside the car, and the ground attaches to the master ground also inside the car. So really only two wires coming out, so the rest can stay in here. And it's a pretty small little set here. As you can see, this little wire is the ground, the red wire is the starter signal, and then you have your thicker power and ground wires here with the factory connectors still on them. If I need to, I'll maybe shorten it up and put new ends on it, but honestly, I probably won't even have to do that. I am going to cut this tab. I don't need all this. This fits the contour inside the trunk area where it's originally mounted. That's why it's a little twisted like that. I'm going to lop these ends off to save a little space. Put a screw hole here to mount it underneath the plastic panels that should be arriving actually tomorrow, so I can start assembling the panel piece that goes inside behind the driver's seat where the AEM and the fuse block and the other relays are going to be located. I did realize that I did have two connectors where I didn't have the correct ends, so I had to order two more connectors from Ballinger Motorsports. Have to wait on those. And then the last wiring set that I have to do here is for the fuel injectors. So that's what this is for. And then here's some more looms actually. My 4 signal wires for the new coil on plug injectors. These are 20 gauge, and then these are 16 gauge. This is a ground and power that go into this 6-pin connector, which plugs into the already created harness that attaches to the individual igniters, coil on plug igniters. More to come on that. What I'm going to do today, and I don't think I'm going to film it because who wants to watch me load a bunch of crimps and do each individual wire, but I'm going to go ahead and crimp all the wires today. I just taped the wire sets together, gave enough room where I can attach the connector on the end, and then I'll loom these. Some of them will be individual, some of them will be grouped together, just however it makes it work and keeps it the cleanest. I also have to get a new, and it's also on the way, it should be here tomorrow, rubber grommet for the wiring to pass through. I just didn't want it rubbing up against that metal edge there and causing issues, so more to come on that. And I forgot to mention it, but I did go ahead and rotate the top here. I'm waiting on the 90-degree AN fitting for the top, as well as the new valve cover gasket to replace that and press in the AN fitting that goes there. But it is connected to the air intake on the top here, and then this will go to the new AN fitting 90-degree coming off of that AN press-in fitting on top. So I'll just put it out of the way here for now. And I'm looking at mounting the coolant overflow tank off of the back of this bracket. It'll be basically right here, with the mounting locations on the actual bottle. Be easier than trying to mount it back where I originally wanted to put it back here, and just make it a little bit cleaner as well. More on that to come. I have to fabricate some little metal brackets. I might just design those and have them cut and sent to me by, I think it's Send Cut Send. I'll link that below. For little brackets and stuff, if you don't have the appropriate hardware, sometimes it's easier to just have it created by someone that has the materials and tools to do it, and then have them just send it to you. So great service. Oh yeah, I also had to find a new alternator plug here. I was going to use this old one, but it's pretty dingy. Since the rest of the wiring harness is going to be new, figured I'd probably try to get that new as well. I think that's it. I just have this harness here sitting so I know where things branch off of each other, make it easier to replicate that routing and looming when I put the rest of the harness together. I have the injector harness there. I also have the MAP sensor there. There's one more aftermarket. The AIT sensor is this white and gray cable here, and then everything else is factory harness left is pretty much here or there. My other coolant temp sensor off of the water neck, that was one of the two that I accidentally ordered the wrong connector. That loom is not created yet, so a little bit light on that one. That's just 2 wires there. And then I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna do with this box here. This is basically an ECU for the cooling fans. I'm not sure if I actually need that or not, so I got to take a little deeper dive to see if I actually need to keep that or if I can just have the AEM control that separately through another relay or something, but more to come on that part. I started going through the documents here that I created for each individual sensor and the connections I have to make, things like that, and a lot of it actually I'm not having to do anymore. I've eliminated some of the loop and some of the stuff is not needed anymore. So I've just been updating what I have here in terms of, you know, parts, looms that I need to make for each sensor and where they go and which pins they went to originally and which AEM pins they're going to now. And then I'm also documenting it here, or starting to. There's almost no writing on here. But this is going to show me where everything connects as well, just kind of a document to keep. So I know which AEM pins, the original wire colors, the new wire colors. So just between all my documents together, I have all the breadcrumbs I need to diagnose or fix anything or have anybody else work on my car that isn't familiar with how I change things, just to make things easier. I think that's it for this little part. I don't even think you want to watch me crimp all these wires, so I'll come back once they're all done and show you what that looks like. I'll probably wait to run the wires into the car until I get the grommet tomorrow, so over the next couple days, we'll see how it goes. Christmas came a little bit early. I got the OEM crank pulley and the valve cover gasket.
Just wanted to take the opportunity to re-tap these before I put this back on the car.
Here's the fitting for the AN off the valve cover and my 2 rubber grommets so I can start passing the wires through into the actual cabin. As well as some more stickers. I do love my stickers, if you'll notice here, and they're on every single toolbox. Definitely love my MR2 Heaven, my Prime MR2, my Racer X fabrication, DIY auto tune, dress up bolts, Greddy clutch, RCI harnesses, Design Engineering Incorp. They do my header wrap and a few other things. Don't want to forget Venom, they make my injectors. And of course PRP, which I have stickers for but have not put them on yet.
Contractor, no. I will not bow to any sponsor.
Message!
Also wanted to give an update on the PRP bracket. They're in the process of actually making me a new one that will work with the Gen 2s. It's been several weeks, 3 weeks I think, but been collaborating with me. I've probably sent back and forth 20 or 30 emails. They are in Australia and it's a busy time of year for them. They've been great to work with. Looking forward to getting that new piece so we can go ahead and mount the plugs on top of the engine and get back to work. here are all the flying leads I've assembled so far. As you remember, the starter circuit as well as the alternator circuit are already in the car. All that's left, I believe, is the spall fan and 4 injectors.
See y'all next year. Happy holidays.